Hello everybody, what's going down? My name is Sonja Marie with Wordlife Astrology here on this gorgeous Monday. Today is Monday. It's November 25th, 2024. I'm here to give you some information about astrology, the transit chart that's going down this week, and hopefully give you some information on how it pertains to you and how you can move through this time, okay? Are you ready for it? Before that, let me give you a few announcements. One, which is really, really important. I would love for you all to join me here on YouTube, please. December 4th, that's next Wednesday. Yep. I thought it was really, really important to express to you all in a really public way on what the movements of Mars is all about and how it could affect you in your chart. I believe that I have shared with y'all here on YouTube a couple of videos back about Mars moving between two signs, Leo and Cancer, for the next 7 months. Yep, until June 19th, 2025. That's a big deal, y'all, because usually Mars stays in a sign for 6 weeks, let alone 7 months. Goodness gracious. So it's going to go through two signs within the 7 months, which will assist you on how you should move, execute, garner your energy, your execution, your motivation, how you should harness your anger at this particular time. You want to take a part of that? And possibly be one of the 5 lucky people, the first 5, first come, first serve, getting a live reading. And you can get the reading anonymously if you like. So when you click the link below and you sign up for your reading, again, it's 5. So if you're able to sign up, you got in. If you didn't, so sorry, you have to wait for next time, okay? But you can always schedule a reading with me via my website at wordlifeastrology.com. So hopefully I see y'all here on YouTube live December 4th, 5 p.m. Pacific time. All right? It's going to be fun and very, 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 very informative. All right, y'all, let's start off with the week. Today is Monday, like I said, and the moon is in Libra. It's important to know where the moon is, like I say almost always, because it garners our mood, our emotional propensity, what we have available in our wheelhouse when it comes to expressions. Today, with the moon being in Libra, it's all about partnerships. Maybe you want to lean into your partner. Maybe you'd like to present and or find a solution for you and your business partner to, both win on a particular situation. Today, it's about thinking about the other. Yeah. It is, in a way in which is not too emotional, but just, considering them. It's about being considerate. Libra energy knows that, loves that, and knows how to do it really, really well, by the way. So snap on into that today. At the same time, though, Mercury, the infamous Mercury, will be going retrograde. Now, it's infamous for some, but I believe that it's purposeful for all of us. When Mercury, the planet of communication, goes retrograde, that only means it's wobbling in the sky a little bit, right? It's a little drunk, I like to say. And that means it throws off its meaning and or its purpose for being in the sky. And that's communication, to speak or to listen. That's all types of transmissions when it comes to emails, phone calls, traveling as well. These types of communicative efforts fall short a little bit and or slow down a little bit or get misunderstood and misinterpreted. That's every Mercury retrograde situation. And by the way, as you probably know, Mercury definitely goes retro at least 3 times a year, sometimes more, but 3 times a year for sure. And I think it's just the universe's way of just slowing us down, y'all. I say this all the time, allowing us to get into motion to what the universe would like to prescribe at this particular time. Sometimes it's necessary to slow down the brain's activity so we can so we can adhere to what's being developed around us. We can take account of it. We can distribute it and delegate it a little easier. You know, if we're always on one, always going, brain moving forward. We're never assessing situations and making it work for the best for ourselves and other people, okay? So please do yourself a favor during this Mercury retrograde time to sit back, pull back, think about a thing, reevaluate a thing, make it work for you, for your and whoever else's highest good. Now, because it's in Sagittarius, it's going to retrograde in that type of energy, which means that our communication will go from moving quickly, because Sag is about moving fast, about moving quickly, thinking, coming up with ideas real quick, to all of a sudden not necessarily knowing how to do a thing, or our thoughts for evolving seems to fall short. We can't think past a particular level and or boundary, right? That's what happens when it slows down in Sag. When Mercury slows down in Sag, possibly maybe we'll eat our words, because Sag is very blunt. So we are not necessarily paying attention as it slows down and gets a little wobbly and unsure what blunt things are coming out and how they will land and hurt you or somebody else. That's for sure. You know, so be careful and monitor the things that we say so it doesn't burn bridges for you later. Okay? Mercury and Sag is a really, really good time to see how you're going to climb that mountain too. Why? Because Sagittarius energy is about expansion. It's about going beyond. It's the bigger picture. So if you are having a hard time to see what your bigger picture is going to look like, then this is a good time for the next 3 weeks to kind of sit back and literally daydream about your bigger picture. Like, have it come into form in your mind about how it feels, how it tastes, how it feels when you touch it, how it sounds. Like, literally cultivate the entire production in your mind and go beyond. Sag thinks bigger than most. Oftentimes. That's why that they think that sign is so lucky. It's not necessarily that it's lucky. It's courageous enough and big enough in its own perspective, because Jupiter is its ruler. It's big enough in from its own perspective that it can do anything and has all the confidence to do the thing. For real. So think in those terms. Like, it doesn't matter what the consequences are on some level, as long as it's not harming you or anybody else. But it doesn't matter on some level if you try and it doesn't work. If you try again and it doesn't work, because that Sag energy doesn't see failure. So it's about thinking about the things in your mind in this Mercury Sag moment, about the things that may or may not work. Let's try to bake a couple of cakes and make them fall flat and see what flavors work. Go through the information, okay? Test it out. Trial and error. Really good time for trial and error. So when it's time to go forward again, you would have rehashed all the things about what's big, what's too big, what's not big enough. You will rehash all the things about how much you should evolve, about the information that's necessary, about the adventures that you should take on, about the courage, the amount of courage that you need. When Mercury goes direct on December 15th, you will have a clearer idea of what that dream and that bigger picture looks like, because again, you will hash out the details in this retro moment. Utilize it, okay? And slow down, clowns. You don't have to move too fast. Not right now. Also on Monday, the moon, which is in Libra, of course, is sextiling the sun in Sagittarius. Sag and Libra gets along really, really well. And I love the fact that the moon in Libra promoting partnerships and fair situations is also pinging off of the beautiful adventure that Sag, the beautiful positivity that Sag is bringing. So it's possible you can have some really good connections with business and personal partnerships today. It's possible that your partnerships can bring in some new ideas in which you go, you know what? That's a little bit farther than I thought, but Yeah, let's do it, right? Let's go for the long game as opposed to the short game. You and your partner, you and your business partner or personal partner can come up with these ideas today, can shine in this today. At the very least, maybe there's some really great debates that you engage in today, because Libra and Sag always loves to debate information back and forth just for stretching the brain, for intellectual prowess. You dig what I'm saying? So do your best to engage in those things to keep your what? To keep you shining, to keep your good ego from the sun afloat. Yeah, this good ego too. Also, that moon in Libra is sextiling Mars as it moves in Leo. So that moon in Libra says, yeah, with your partner, having that togetherness feel, that win-win feel, that justice feel, that fair feeling. It says take that feeling and move on it. Execute, Mars. Do something. Do something. Be generous. Give some things away today. If you feel like cleaning out your closet because it is Mercury retrograde and Mars in Leo says be generous with that thing. Leo is a very generous sign. Mars says do it. So the bottom line is give away some things that you could be cleansing of, because what's your trash could be another one's treasure, as they say, right? But also think about it from a fair perspective. If you're going to give it away, make sure it's some good stuff. If you're going to give it away, make sure that people can utilize it. If you're going to give it away and be generous, make sure that it's a realistic thing in which, again, people can benefit from, and which, again, people can come together in, possibly in a partnership of some form. If you're going to be generous today and show it and be about it, make sure more than one person can benefit from it, okay? All right. And build on it. Keep going. That generosity keeps growing. On Tuesday, the moon will stay in Libra, that's for sure. And I want you to know that it's going to trine Jupiter, even though Jupiter is going retrograde in Gemini. When these big planets go retrograde, it's not necessarily a huge slowdown period, but Jupiter is reevaluating its opportunities too. Jupiter says, I don't know what optimistic opportunities take on. Jupiter in Gemini says, I don't know what information is good for me and what's not good for me, but hold it. Because it's in retrograde, because it's in review, you can hold on to the information. You don't have to move on the information right now, is what that moon trining Jupiter going reverse is saying. It's saying share it. Not necessarily in a generous way, but with the moon being in Libra, it's like share the information with your partner. For instance, some pillow talk. Babe, you know, these opportunities are coming to me. This money opportunity is coming for me. Possibly, maybe your loved one could say, your partner or your business partner could say, all money ain't good money. Let's wait. Let's deal with this. How are you having communication and or some type of connection with a partner today that can help you to identify what's a good blessing and what's a not so good blessing? What's a blessing in which you should wait on? What's an opportunity in which you should garner and manifest and continue to bring towards you? Or what's one you should wait and just take your time and possibly maybe wait for the rest of all the holidays to go by? Like, for real, that is the benefit in the moon touching Jupiter on Tuesday, because it absolutely allows you to sit back and say, yo, we got all the Skittles. We got everything that we need. What can we touch in order to assist us as a business partnership, as a personal connection? We got time to think about it. Now, at the same time, Venus on Tuesday is gonna quincunx Jupiter as well. So the slight irritation that can happen around these blessings and these possibilities that are coming up for Tuesday, around some type of expansions that could or could not happen, there's a fogginess, an irritation, a frustration around the value of the thing. Are you having arguments, or is there a misunderstanding between you and your business partner, you and your personal partner, about the value and the worth of a thing? Going back to that example, when you having pillow talk with your babe and they're like, I don't know about this possibility. All money ain't good money. Do you feel that they are correct in assuming that? Or do you feel like you should fight for the money that you deserve? right? There may be some type of irritation to that communication and or that partnership that's going on that could be telling you otherwise. Listen, don't get frustrated by it. People are expressing themselves how they express themselves and giving you opinion because you ask. It doesn't mean that you need to move on everything. And that does not mean that everybody can see the value of a thing. Maybe you see the value of a thing a little bit differently, a little bit better, a little bit more better than the next person, you dig? Be easy, be patient, let the frustration settle, and possibly the next day or the day later, they'll see the value in the thing and the worth in the thing, and then you can talk about those opportunities again. On Wednesday, the moon goes into Scorpio. Yeah, at 7:21 p.m. Eastern time, okay? And before that, naturally, it's in Libra up until that time. But when the moon goes into Scorpio, it will square off on Pluto because it just entered an Aquarius. Remember? So with the moon in Scorpio squaring off with Pluto and Aquarius, it can be a little gnarly. We have just entered this space in which a lot of us feel freer. That's for sure. Cancers, Capricorns, Aries, and Libra. All the cardinal signs are feeling a lot of relief when it comes to that Pluto going into Aquarius. Like not pushing us, these cardinal signs, into transformation so tough. That's why we feel the relief. We feel the burden off of our shoulders to be something and transform into something quicker than possibly the human would like to. But Pluto is a bully. So Pluto will continue to push and continue to push and continue to push until it all falls away. But because now that it is in Aquarius, there's not too much pushing for those cardinal signs. However, what we feel now is a little bit of an emotional discord with the moon in Scorpio squaring Pluto on Wednesday. That emotional discord can look like a little bit of control, a little bit of a control power play. Yes, we all know we feel better, freer going into this Pluto in Aquarius. Possibly, maybe we feel like we need to come together with community, all the Pluto in Aquarius things, right? There's an emotional thing that could possibly come on your plate, in your area, in your life that day that says, I'm going to be a little bit passionate about what this group of people are going to do. I don't want to do what they're doing. I'm going to be a little bit passionate about how humanity is being handled in this area of my life. I'm going to be a little passionate about my friendships in these groups and organizations, and I'm going to speak against, because that's what the square is, a challenge. My emotions want to speak against what's being formed right now. So the bottom line is this: if we all know, or I should say in your life, specifically, if you know you would love another group of friends, another social circle, and then on that day, right, the moon in Scorpio is probing that we go deep. So we end up going to a party or having conversations with new friends and or a new set of associates, and you start to go deep, but you get a little pushback. That's the square. You start to go deep in your emotions like that Scorpio says and reveal some passionate things and be very, very extreme about what it is you stand on. But this new group of friendships are not really feeling that straight away. And possibly maybe it's because they don't know truly who they are yet. Possibly maybe because they don't understand your passion. They're not used to your vocal passion. Watch on Wednesday how you are asserting yourself in new places with a big sense of passion that's indescribable to most that are around you. That doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It means that you are bringing new fire, new fever, new ideals, new emotions, new determination to a thing. It just means possibly, maybe, because it's a square, the new situation, Aquarius-like, needs to get used to it. So hold on. Hold on to your ideals. Don't push too hard, not unless somebody wants to hear it. But after a while, these new societies, these new ways of looking at humanity, they'll start to blend, but they're going to get pushback in the beginning. That's the same with any new life. You get that, right? If you don't, please leave a question or a comment in the description box below. I don't mind talking it up. Let's do that thing. On Thursday, the moon stays in Scorpio, and happy Family Day to all of those people celebrating coming together on that day, and happy Indigenous Day for all of those people that shared with their love and that were generous with their belongings and their possessions here on this particular land called North America when others came and demolished and took over like the bullies that they are. Anyway, happy day. At the very least, I really pray that you have some big belly laughs with your people. It means so much to restore that laughter and that goodness and that good feelings with those that matter. You know what I mean? Know what I mean? The moon will be in Scorpio that day, so moods may be showing a lot of depth. Maybe bringing up a lot of tears, maybe revealing a lot of secrets. I'm just saying that is a wild card of a day with the moon being in Scorpio. But I think the only way, the best way, in my opinion, is to ride it, is to be as vulnerable as possible. Whenever the moon is in Scorpio and you try to be opposite than vulnerable, if you try to be superficial in any way, try to placate situations, mull over deep conversations or situations that are coming up to the surface, you're going to look crazy. So you got to go with the depth of it all. And at the very least, address it for a second. At the very least, hug people when they need it. At the very least, be loyal and devoted to a person in that day. If they need for you to step outside and have a hard conversation with them, if they haven't shared something with you in years, just be patient and listen to people's hearts on that day. You don't have to respond, but it's good if people find the courage to dig deep in the wells of their soul to express to you. So give them that moment, okay? And try to keep yourself away from being too emotional about the thing, even though it's in Scorpio, the moon is in Scorpio, but be a little bit more observant about the feelings that are coming up and see and pray how you can handle them as they come up, okay? You got this. You got this. It's just about looking at the emotions before you react, because everybody just wants to be seen and heard, y'all. Everybody. On Friday, the moon is going to stay in Scorpio, more deep feels, but it's also going to sextile Venus. This is a beautiful thing. Even after all of the feelings want to come up via the moon in Scorpio, on Friday, when it hits Venus, it will express, it will show, it will blossom in the love, the worth, the value, and the beauty that it was supposed to display. Yes, those deep feelings. Deep feelings are not always humdrum, gotta cry, gotta sit here and mull over the past and make me responsible for the things that I did and accountable for what you did and blah, 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 blah. Deep feelings don't always have to go there. Deep feelings can be some things that you just didn't know about a person and how they felt about a thing, their perspective, their way of feeling, their way of being. But on Friday, it says if you get all of them deep feelings out the day prior and today, it'll hook up with Venus. You'll see the worth in it. Be patient is the real reason. Don't blow up with some type of defensiveness as these emotions are coming out. See the best of it. See the worth, the possibilities of it. Make some money out of it. That's what Venus is about, money. Maybe these expressions that are coming up could garner some ideas on how you can make money of a thing. You dig what I'm saying? Like, don't be afraid to go deep where Scorpio wants to go on Thursday and Friday. It can benefit you in a way in which you never, ever, ever imagined. At the very least, make you feel loved. On Saturday, the moon gets a little lighter. It goes into Sagittarius, about to hook up with the sun, you know what I mean? Because the sun is in Sag right now. I know all you Sagittarius out there. The moon is in Sag. We feel the optimism. We feel the positivity. because the moon is about feelings and emotions, right? We feel the ability to do things bigger and better than we ever have. We feel the need to evolve. We feel the need to be the student and the teacher. We feel the need to get some spiritual doctrines in our belt, so to speak, our tool belt, and start learning some things, start adjusting to the laws that is necessary for us to live by, our personal laws, the rules and the regulations that we are going to live by now. Yes, Moon in Sagittarius season is all about that. What are your own personal laws that you're going to reevaluate and follow now? Check that out. Saturday, though, when that moon goes in Sagittarius, it wants to sextile and will sextile Pluto in Aquarius. So how dope is this? You reevaluate and you looking at these ways in which you're expanding. It's hitting Pluto nice and right. That moon in Sag says, look at ways to evolve. It can bring you what? Power. Pluto. It can bring you what? Ease to transform. It can bring you what? Some sense of authority and superiority over your own life. Understand that. The moon in Sag is prompting Pluto to go, yo, I know they was wilding out yesterday, the day before, and they thought the changes and the Aquarius era and the things that are coming in are not necessarily real, but I'm here to tell you it is. I feel it. I feel the expansion. I know it to be true. So let's do that thing. We don't have to be emotional about it as the moon in Scorpio wanted us to be. We don't have to go deep, but we can take what we got from the depths and now we can go. Now we can expand. Now we can let Jupiter have it and let it be bigger. Have fun expanding into the powerful self that you are. Stop holding back, please. Please have fun in it. Make yourself a superhero in it, in your mind. Put your cape on when you're walking into the office, when you're dealing with a very cantankerous situation and you're coming out on top because everybody wins. You understand? Feel your power. Know your worth. Please. Now, the dopest thing about that on Saturday with the moon sextile and Pluto is that the moon is also trining Mars. Did anybody hear that? The moon is trining Mars while the moon is sextiling Pluto in the same day. So not only is it telling you to feel your power with Pluto in there, but it's telling you to move on your power with Mars in there. It's telling you to execute some things. I love Mars. I love Aries for that reason. Mars is Aries' planet. Mars says, right, while it's in the sign of Leo and it will trine that moon in Sag, Mars says, yo, I get you. I get your expansion. I'm ready to do this thing. At the very least, I'm ready to put it in motion. Because remember, if I just told y'all that Mars is going to go retro real soon. I didn't tell you the date. It's December 6th. But when it goes retro, all this gumption, this power to move and to execute a thing, it's going to fizzle just a touch. So we need this propulsion right now on Saturday and on Sunday to move and execute some things that you want to get into motion for your bigger dream. That is the plan this week. How will you expand your dream into motion? Even as Mercury is going retro, even as Mars is about to go retro, even as Pluto is trying to find its footing and its power in community and humanity because it just went into Aquarius, even as this new moon in Sag is about to approach us the next day, bringing us new opportunities. There's so much of a hodgepodge of information that's coming to us, leaving us. It's a little gnarly and sometimes it can bring a lot of anxiety on for people. But the calmer you are, the easier you are on yourselves. And honestly, the happier you are when it comes to you infusing energy and emotions into these opportunities that are coming your way, big or small. They allow things to grow and they allow things to formulate a new road, a new energetic road of optimism and opportunities for sure, because you're not holding on to the anxiety of what if, what was, if it falls, if it fails. I don't know what I'm doing. You know what you're doing. You absolutely know what you're doing because you was born into this world knowing what to do in this lifetime. You have added everybody else's thoughts and concerns onto you in order to walk this world. Are you heavy yet? Are you burdened with their conditioning and their thoughts of you yet? I mean, everything and everybody. Because what's being called for now is to shake it off and to stay separate from all of these external conversations and to hear you. So you know how to move in these next few months that are going to bring so many beautiful blessings to us. But you got to know what it is. You got to hear your people. You got to know what it is. You got to hear spirit. You got to know what it is. You got to hear you, boo-boo. Okay? So don't pay attention to what they think is worthy. What do you know is worthy? Move on it. On Saturday, at least take a step on it. On Saturday, move in the groove on it. What you know with it? You gonna do something. You gotta hold on it. No, anyway. Okay. I had a whole song going in my head. I was changing up the notes and anyway. Okay. And lastly, on Sunday, here it comes. It's a new moon in Sag. I just said it. At 9 degrees Sagittarius to be precise. Come on now. That new moon in Sag, like I said, to sound a little redundant because it's all the same thing, so to speak, maybe. Intuitive learning for all those who remember. That new moon in Sag brings a new opportunity of all things Sagittarius, and I just said it, of expansion, of spiritual doctrines, of learning, of workshopping, of education. You want to go back to school? You want to learn, you want to start, sign up for a new workshop, you want to travel. New opportunities are coming your way, boo-boo, for all of these things to ignite. Now, what's going to be a little gnarly on Sunday is that these new opportunities that are finding your way to you, these new ideologies about being better in your lifestyle, a new lifestyle that you are devising, Sagittarius style, quick, fast, and in a hurry, but also with some integrity. You dig what I'm saying? These new ways that you are building up and around yourself, these new ideologies, it wants to square off Saturn in Pisces. Now, the cuidado moment, the warning here is that these disciplines that you've been working on, Pisces-like, again, your prayers, your connections with spirit, yoga, things that you've been doing to try to maintain balance within your mind, body, and soul, keeping you spiritually disciplined. Whatever you've been doing the last year is going to be a little threatened by this new moon opportunity or opportunities that are coming to you. Now, that can look something as simple as, all right, you've been praying for, let's say, you've been praying for an acting opportunity, and here it comes. But that acting opportunity is going to kind of throw you off your square because you got to travel to Canada and you got to work like 12 hours a day, 16 hours a day, which means it's going to throw you off your square, off your spiritual discipline. When are you going to pray? When are you going to meditate? When are you going to eat the right foods? When are you going to stay in alignment with spirit? You have to find the time. That's the challenge on that day that these new opportunities are throwing at us. Now, it could be a good problem, but at the very least, it is a challenge because these spiritual doctrines have been holding you up. Have they not? Answer me in the description box below. Have your extra prayers, your connections with your ancestors, your altars, your time of you being centered, like I said, and grounded, has it been helping you? Because these new opportunities may throw you off. Don't allow it. Just get some balance. Because you need these disciplines in order for you to sustain these new opportunities. Trust and believe. It's a new day. So you need new muscles, or these new opportunities won't last. You did? I'm just saying. You ready to pick a card? I am. What spirit got for us this week, y'all? All right, y'all. I know that this card isn't for all of us, but it is for a few of us. And if you're having a hard time wondering how this applies, stop for a second and go deep, deep, deep into the throes of your mind, since Mercury is in retrograde, and see what you are holding on to, possibly clinging to. Is it something in your past? Check this out. The figure pictured in this card is so preoccupied with clutching her box of memories that she has turned her back on the sparkling champagne glass of blessings available here and now. Her nostalgia for the past really makes her a blockhead and a beggar besides, as we can see from her patched and ragged clothes. She needn't be a beggar, of course, but she is not available to taste the pleasures that offer themselves in the present. It's time to face up to the fact that the past is gone. And any effort to repeat it is a sure way to stay stuck in old blueprints that you would have already outgrown if you hadn't been so busy clinging to what you've already been through. Everybody, take a deep breath. Including me. Put the box down. Tie it up in a pretty ribbon if you must, and bid it a fond and reverent farewell. Life is passing you by, and you're in danger of becoming an old fossil before your time. Ashe, ashe, ashe. This message is for you. If it isn't, then throw it away. But I pray you got something in this broadcast, something that fell deep in your heart and is causing some type of germination, and it's sprouting in a way in which it can literally produce the sweetest fragrance around you and in your life. That's my prayer for you. And if you want to hear how this Mars is affecting 5 people on a live reading here on YouTube on December 4th at 5 p.m., come on back, check the description link in the box if you'd like to sign up, or just come on back for free, possibly give a donation if you think your girl is doing a good job, and we'll hang out and see how this thing is working for all of us, okay? In my opinion, it's important, and I'm just here to assist however I can. Much love to you, okay? Have an awesome week with your family. Love everybody up. Be weird about it. Kiss them on their neck and let them know. Remind them they are God's child. We're supposed to be here. We got work to do, okay? And the first thing to do is love. I love you. Take care.